Hey, it's Stuart Sutton at Georgetown, Texas Real Estate. $700 a foot? Yes, that's exactly what I mean. I'll show you what we've got in Georgetown, Texas, and I'll show you some additional data and information that might be very interesting to you as well. So $700 a foot, really? $700 a square foot. That means 1,000 square foot would be $700,000. 2,000 square feet, and on and on. And yes, that is what happened in 2023. One sale over $700 a foot. Did it really happen? Yes and no. Now, it did really happen, but it was an extenuating circumstance. What I mean by that, it was in a very prestigious neighborhood and had 5 acres. So it's hard to do a price per square foot on a home on acreage because a home in a subdivision, you don't have that extra value for the land. So it did happen over $700 a square foot, but extenuating circumstances. But that's not to say this isn't something that is not going to happen, because we have seen up to $618 per square foot in 2023. Now, let me preface all this with saying that I don't really depend on price per square foot to value particular properties, but it is a measuring stick that so many people use that we simply have to pay attention to it. And yes, there were sales, multiple sales, over $600 a square foot in Georgetown, Texas. Let me give you sort of a comparison. The high 5 years ago, the high was $420 a foot. And that was nearly as amazing to us then as $600 a foot is now. $420 5 years ago. In 2023, the average is $231 a foot. Now, this is for resale housing. Now, think about the $231 versus the $618. The $618 a foot was obviously a very luxurious property. $231 a foot is the average in Georgetown, Texas in 2023. 5 years ago, the average was $148 a square foot. So we saw lots of property 5 years ago under $100 a foot. There's a pretty big range in price per square foot in the Georgetown, Texas real estate market. So in 2018, if you wanted to buy the average size house, which was about 2,300 square feet, as a matter of fact, 2,306 square feet. If you wanted to buy the average size house in Georgetown, Texas at 2,300 square feet, you could have bought it for about $210,000 all the way up to nearly $500,000, depending on where that 2,300 foot square house, depending on where that 2,300 foot house was located. And the same with 2023. You've got a huge range. Average size home is still just over 2,300 square feet in Georgetown. But you could buy 2,300 square feet in Georgetown for $375 up to $772. So about $375 to $775. That's a huge range for price per square foot. That's one of the reasons I don't depend on price per square foot to value a property. But it does show an indication of what's going on in a marketplace. As you can see, in 2018, you could buy a 2,300 square foot house for $210,000 and a super luxurious one for less than $500,000. Today, that 2,300 square foot house, low end, $375,000 up to nearly $775,000. I hope that makes sense. So the price per square foot, as it goes up, buyers are willing to pay more per square foot for housing than they were before. So let's look at some more details on that. That is an increase of about 54% over 5 years ago. Is that to say that no matter what, if you live in Georgetown, Texas, your value is up 54%? Of course not. If you bought a home in wonderful condition and now it's run down, you're not going to get your 54%. But if you bought one that is in relatively average condition and you really upgraded it and made it nice, you'll probably do better than 54% over that 5-year period. That's kind of a rule of thumb. So let's think about 50%. If your home, when you bought it 5 years ago, was worth $200, today it's probably worth $300. If it was worth $500, today it's probably worth $750. If it was worth $1 million, today it's probably worth $1.5 million. Those are just rough numbers. But the Georgetown market is moving along. Within the Georgetown market, there are some neighborhoods that actually do better than other neighborhoods. And the differences are really pretty remarkable. I'll be putting out some more videos about which neighborhoods are actually gaining an increase in values faster than others. And I'll just do another video up here. This particular video is about the 2023 statistics in home sales in Georgetown, Texas real estate. So take a look at that. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe. Hope to see you on the next video.